You'll hear an interview with a man called Lucas Doran, who is talking about his job as a zookeeper. For questions 9 to 18, complete the sentences. You now have 45 seconds to look at part 2.
Good morning, and in the studio today we have Lucas Doran, who is in charge of what's called the Monkey House at Melchester Zoo, where not only monkeys but also the big apes, such as gorillas, are kept. Lucas, welcome. How did you get to work with gorillas?
I've worked at the zoo for some time. I began with the snakes, which was brilliant, and then moved on to the rhinos, which wasn't quite so interesting. My ambition was always to work with big cats like lions and tigers, so when they transferred me to the monkey house, I was disappointed at first. But later on I realised how lucky I was, because monkeys are so clever. They're always trying to trick you.
That must keep you on your toes. Tell us about your day.
I get to work about 7:45, and the first job is to look at the animals. Nobody's on duty at night, so we have to make sure none of them is ill or whether any babies have been born. You see, most monkeys give birth at night. Then we clean the cages and change the water. Then later on in the day we return and put down fresh straw for their bedding.
What about feeding the animals?
They're fed 4 times a day in summer and 3 in winter. The monkeys eat anything, really. Fruit, vegetables, cooked meat, insects. But grapes are their favourite, though.
Have you ever been hurt by one of the animals?
Once. A young female gorilla got out one day. I was just sweeping a path and I felt someone coming up behind me. I turned and there she was. I walked toward her, talking calmly, and she just put a hand on my chest and pushed me out of the way. Quite gently for a gorilla, but enough to knock me off my feet. I fell over and broke my arm. Fortunately, just then her baby, which was still inside the cage, cried and she ran back inside to take care of it.
Oh, gosh, that was lucky. Now, I'd like to move on to your relationship with the public.
Well, I feel a big part of my job is helping people to understand about the animals. Lots of families come to the zoo at the weekend and I answer their questions. And I especially enjoy my talks with the students who come during the week. Then sometimes we have lecturers visiting who give interesting talks.
Right.
But what I really can't stand is when people feed the monkeys. It's not so bad if they give them fruit, because at least apples and bananas form part of their natural diet. But we do say, please don't feed the animals. And people should know that things like cake are not good for them.
Do you have any funny stories about your time here?
Well, one time I had to look after 2 newborn baby monkeys. Their mother wasn't interested in them, so I had to feed them milk from a bottle every 2 hours. I had to take them back to my flat in a box on the bus because my car had broken down and I couldn't find a taxi driver willing to take them. They slept most of the way, but I got some very strange looks when these hairy little fingers occasionally crept out of the box.
And what of the future?
Well, I've recently gone back to studying. Because I'm interested in running my own zoo one day, I need to get some more qualifications. At first I thought I needed to study animal psychology or zoology, but actually the most useful course turned out to be one in biology. I was always good at maths and sciences, so I'm really enjoying it.
Right.
But what I'd really like to do is visit Africa. Not as a tourist on some safari, staying in the best hotels, but actually to meet the famous conservationist Bridget Foley and see the park where she does her research into apes and monkeys. It would be really exciting to see some of the animals I know so well from the zoo in their natural surroundings.
Well, Lucas, best of luck with both those projects, and thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
Now you will hear part 2 again.
Good morning. And in the studio today we have Lucas Doran, who is in charge of what's called the Monkey House at Melchester Zoo, where not only monkeys but also the big apes, such as gorillas, are kept. Lucas, welcome. How did you get to work with gorillas?
I've worked at the zoo for some time. I began with the snakes, which was brilliant, and then moved on to the rhinos, which wasn't quite so interesting. My ambition was always to work with big cats like lions and tigers, so when they transferred me to the monkey house, I was disappointed at first. But later on I realised how lucky I was, because monkeys are so clever. They're always trying to trick you.
That must keep you on your toes. Tell us about your day.
I get to work about 7:45, and the first job is to look at the animals. Nobody's on duty at night, so we have to make sure none of them is ill or whether any babies have been born. You see, most monkeys give birth at night. Then we clean the cages and change the water. Then later on in the day we return and put down fresh straw for their bedding.
What about feeding the animals?
They're fed 4 times a day in summer and 3 in winter. The monkeys eat anything, really. Fruit, vegetables, cooked meat, insects. But grapes are their favourite, though.
Have you ever been hurt by one of the animals?
Once. A young female gorilla got out one day. I was just sweeping a path and I felt someone coming up behind me. I turned and there she was. I walked toward her, talking calmly, and she just put a hand on my chest and pushed me out of the way. Quite gently for a gorilla, but enough to knock me off my feet. I fell over and broke my arm. Fortunately, just then her baby, which was still inside the cage, cried and she ran back inside to take care of it.
Oh, gosh, that was lucky. Now, I'd like to move on to your relationship with the public.
Well, I feel a big part of my job is helping people to understand about the animals. Lots of families come to the zoo at the weekend and I answer their questions. And I especially enjoy my talks with the students who come during the week. Then sometimes we have lecturers visiting who give interesting talks.
Right.
But what I really can't stand is when people feed the monkeys. It's not so bad if they give them fruit, because at least apples and bananas form part of their natural diet. But we do say, please don't feed the animals. And people should know that things like cake are not good for them.
Do you have any funny stories about your time here?
Well, one time I had to look after 2 newborn baby monkeys. Their mother wasn't interested in them, so I had to feed them milk from a bottle every 2 hours. I had to take them back to my flat in a box on the bus because my car had broken down and I couldn't find a taxi driver willing to take them. They slept most of the way, but I got some very strange looks when these hairy little fingers occasionally crept out of the box.
And what of the future?
Well, I've recently gone back to studying. Because I'm interested in running my own zoo one day, I need to get some more qualifications. At first I thought I needed to study animal psychology or zoology, but actually the most useful course turned out to be one in biology. I was always good at maths and sciences, so I'm really enjoying it.
Right.
But what I'd really like to do is visit Africa. Not as a tourist on some safari, staying in the best hotels, but actually to meet the famous conservationist Bridget Foley and see the park where she does her research into apes and monkeys. It would be really exciting to see some of the animals I know so well from the zoo in their natural surroundings.
Well, Lucas, best of luck with both those projects, and thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
That is the end of part